I start the model by adding here a cube, and then I'm going to scale it with S and then Shift plus Z, and I wanna make one plank out from this, so we have that kind of good start for this. And now I just duplicate it here and duplicate those both, and maybe one more time, and let's scale this in Z-axis. This is going to be the wheel for this cart, so that's why I'm at least trying to have almost rectangular, and maybe those are a little bit too far away of each other. But to be honest, I'm not too much worried about the problems there, because this is a man-made card, and it's something that's very cheap, even the times when those are used. So you can kind of be creative there and leave some gaps there between the planks. Okay, let's add here cylinder, and this is going to be the part I'm going to use as a brush to cut the wheel out from this plank shape. So rotate this in x-axis 90 degrees and let's scale it. Something like this, and let's apply the rotation and scale, and the same here. Okay, let's first select the cylinder and then this pile of planks, and let's go to Pool Tool tab here. If you don't have it, then activate User Preferences, Add-ons, Pool Tool. Not Pool Tool, Pool Tool, this one, and it allows you to have this kind of tab here. And I'm going to use this. I'm going to use. Wait a minute, I need to check. Intersect. Yes, that was the one I was trying to click. Okay, so this intersect is the way to cut this shape out from this pile. I make those a little bit bigger, thicker, and something like that looks very cool. And let's add the. Let's go to edit mode first, and let's add here another plank, and it's going to be the one that is going to hold this everything together. So I'm going to scale it like this, and then scale in y-axis like that, and let's move it there, and maybe in z-axis also a little bit. Alright. I need to create a folder for this, so it's going to be pull cart, and Blender don't select the folder when I create one, so I always need to find it again when I create. And actually I did write it wrong. It's not chart, it's card. If I pronounce it correctly, but this is wrong written without this H letters here. Okay, so let's name this card, and here we go. It's very typical for me to write things wrong, because English is not my native language. Let's enable here smooth shading, and now it looks quite interesting. So I wanna go here and in the object data enable this auto smooth, and now it's again quite okay, I guess. And the next thing to do is to go here in modifiers tab, and here we are going to use the bevel, and now we have those cool looking bevels there everywhere, but I don't need that big effect, so I'm going to a little bit smaller, And maybe I add a little bit more segments also. I mean, I'm going to add one segment more. And instead of using this none, I'm using angle, so that kind of disappears the bevels in these low angle parts, which is very cool also and helpful. Okay, so let's select, let's go first the edge selection mode, and let's select these and then Control Shift plus S and cursor to selected. And I'm going to add here another cylinder, and I'm going to reduce a little bit of these vertices, something like maybe 12 is quite okay. Let's scale this and rotate in x-axis 90 degrees, and then let's scale it in y-axis, and this is going to be the axle, if I can use the correct word. I'm very sorry that my I'm so limited with the words I'm trying to use here, but yeah, maybe I will learn this. Just I'm trying to learn Blender, and also I'm also teaching Blender as I learn it. Okay, so let's enable the smooth shading. And by the way, if you didn't notice, I was in edit mode moving this, so this point here is in the center, and that's very important because we need that point here when we now add here a mirror modifier. And you maybe didn't notice anything, but if we click this Y axis, we have here the duplicate of this object. And let's disable this X axis, because that was kind of creating here a duplicate, even though it was not visible, maybe not very well, I mean. And let's click this clipping, and now we can move this to the center, and now it's kind of locked there. And I'm going to duplicate this. Let's press A 2 times and select this one with algae, and then duplicate this also here. Alright, some farmer from the Middle Age maybe will be already very impressed about this thing. Then next thing to do is maybe the container of all kind of junk is routing with this vehicle. I'm going to add here some sort of metal, what do you call that? Metal support for these wheels, and I think those were not very often used because metal was during those times very expensive, and that's why maybe someone who had a little bit more money would have that kind of wheels with metal. I don't know the word for that, but yeah, you understand. I hope at least you understand what I wanted to say. So let's select this one and cursor to select it, and let's add here circle, and here align to weave, and we need here also this same. Actually, did I have? I can't remember which was the. To be honest, I need to move these. So I just select everything. Algae. And then move in the center of this circle. Like this. And then transform. Okay, I can't do that. Let me figure it out. Snap cursor to selected, and then object transform origin to 3D cursor. Okay, seems like a good idea, I guess. Okay, it didn't do it. object transform origin to 3D cursor. And now we need to select everything, and let's uncheck this clipping, and let's move this back into their place, and then check that clipping again. Okay, now the cursor, the origin is in the correct place, so we need to move also this axle to the correct spot, and these parts, these two. Okay, seems good. Okay, I'm moving this a little bit up. Okay. So now the metallic support for these. So let's move this here and then just extrude. And Ctrl plus, and we can select that, and S and Shift plus Y. And then E to extrude, and then S and Shift plus Y. So now we have this metal here. And smooth shading, of course. That looks quite nice, I think. Maybe there is also some sort of rivet. To be honest, I'm just thinking something that might be true or not. At least there should be some sort of rivet. So I'm going to select these first, and I'm going to scale these a little bit in x-axis, like that. And now let's add the rivets. So I'm going to do the rivets. First I'm going to center the cursor again. I'm going to do the rivets from an icosphere, and I need only, okay, I need 2 levels of this, and let's move this a little bit aside and scale it to small. And next thing to do is to select half of this, so, and delete vertices, so we have this kind of selection there. And now let's scale this with in y-axis to 0, and this is going to be the rivet. And of course it's too big, but we can scale it. Let's first move it into the correct spot, which is this one, and then let's scale it like that. And now I can just duplicate it everywhere. Shift plus D, and so on. And let's select all of those, because I need to duplicate these also to the other side. So Shift plus D and scale Y minus 1. And Ctrl plus N to rotate the normals. And I think it's cool now. Okay, I'm also, let's move this a little bit. So Ctrl plus Shift and select that, and let's duplicate it and rotate in x-axis 90 degrees and scale and extrude, and select and Ctrl plus N, calculate the normals, and now we have this, whatever you'll call that. Like that, and let's move this closer. Cool. It already looks quite nice, I think. I think I need to scale this a little bit smaller, because I can see through there. So at least I'm going to move it a little bit up, and then S and Shift plus Y to scale it a little bit smaller. Okay. I think this is the most important part of this card model. So I'd start the container part by first going in edit mode here, and then let's snap the cursor here. So I'm going to add here a cube. This is very basic cube modeling. And then scale this in x-axis, and I need to move this a little bit up. And now I can just duplicate this. Okay, that's the cap I wanna use. Okay, looks cool. Maybe I can add even more there. Now I need to select all of those and scale in y-axis, and then move back so it fits there perfectly. And I'm going to scale even more in x-axis, like that. And now I'm going to duplicate this one and rotate in z-axis 90 degrees. And move it like this. And we have here this center face which I need to delete. So let's select it and delete faces, and it's gone. And now I can start adding these around. I guess this is getting quite okay like that. Yeah, I think it's okay. Okay, the next thing is to do those vertical planks. So I'm again unchecking this clipping here, so because I wanna duplicate this one here. So let's duplicate it and rotate in x-axis like that. And then let's move it there. And let's fill this face and then move this here and here and here. Perfect. Okay, it's not perfect. I think this is a little bit too wide, so I'm going to delete this one. Delete vertices, and then I need to select this wheel, and actually I need to also select this one. So now I'm going to select these and then just move inside a little bit. And then let's select this and this and this and this and this and this and those, and then move in. Okay, is it even? It might be a little bit too long also. So I'm going to delete this one and then select these and move there. And I'm going to center them again. So let's move them like this. Alright, it seems we have here some sort of problem. So I'm going to move like this, and it's still not enough because they're overlapping there. So let's select these and these, and let's move until they are close enough. Okay, that seems good. And now I can move these until they are kind of Good, there. And this needs to be also fixed. Actually, we need to fix all of those. Okay, and then let's move just a little bit here, like that. And let's duplicate this, of course, there also. It starts to look very cool, I think. Let's duplicate this one because I wanna have this kind of vertical, horizontal woods also there. So let's duplicate this one and rotate in y-axis 90 degrees. And then scale in x-axis like that. Maybe some very skilled craftsman could a little bit part out from this length, so they are kind of like that. And then let's just duplicate it. Okay, looks nice. Okay, let's look this again from this direction, and you see that this needs something that keeps this part connected with this part. And I just go to edit mode, and I'm going to select this object here and duplicate it and move in Z-axis. Now I can actually also scale it in Z-axis, and maybe I also scale it a little bit in Y-axis, and then just make it like this. And I think this is enough what we need to do with this. Maybe I add a little bit beveling here, but that's, I think, absolutely enough we need to do with this one. By the way, I activated the smooth shading. Maybe it's okay with these rivets to be smooth shading. Alright, I'm not going to waste time with those anymore. And now we also need some what do you call those? Why can't I know the words of everything? Those kind of things which you use to connect the bulls to this chart. So I again use one of these to do it, and I'm going to duplicate this one and then move here and scale, maybe a little bit scale in x-axis. And I'm going to select this face here and connect it in the center, and then let's delete the face in the center. And next thing to do, I'm going to add here another edge and there another, and now I can just move these to make it like this, which I think is good. And I think I need to move these a little bit up because the bulls are a little bit higher than this, so I guess this will be quite nice for that. And then let's extrude it like this, and we can also model here some sort of a chair where the driver of this vehicle is sitting. And how did I do that problem there? I'm going to delete this face here, and let's create their face and there another one, and then let's extrude this one. So now we have these parts where this is another bull is going to be here and the other one is going to be there. And it seems good. To be honest, I have no idea how they connect the bulls this kind of vehicle, so I just do some sort of guesswork, and I'm going to duplicate this one and then scale in y-axis like this, and then extrude and turn the normals, and let's move this here. So this is kind of the holder for those big animals, and maybe there is some sort of wiring going under of that animal, I guess. Maybe I also I'm going to activate here individual origins and then extrude and scale and extrude and extrude and scale again and extrude. Okay, I guess this is good enough. And now let's do the chair for the driver. By the way, I think I should later duplicate those rivets kind of everywhere. But the seat for him, the driver, maybe is not going to be very complex thing. Just something like this. And then duplicate and scale this one and extrude. Can one sit on this kind of seat? Maybe it's okay like that. I will also add some sort of thing for his feet. Rotate in y-axis. Okay. Now he is very happy maybe with this. I guess. I would be very happy if I had this kind of chart. I'm going to duplicate this again and rotate in y-axis, and now he is completely happy about this because he can kind of rest his back here. And I'm going to duplicate this and do some sort of, I don't know, this kind of thing that holds this part in a place. Rotate in y-axis. Okay, I guess this is getting very good. I'm going to add here, because I can, loop cuts like this, and then bevel them, and then delete faces. And now I'm going to create faces here. If you can't do that, then you don't have the F2 add-on, which is this one, F2. So with this you can just select one edge here and press F, and it creates a face there. And that's so cool and helps you a lot. Okay. This looks very heavy. When I have this thick woods there, it would add a lot of weight to this vehicle. But I think during this time they didn't care. I have seen some very old things, and they always are very, very heavy. There's like no care about how much they add wood there. They just add as much they want to add. So I'm going with that. Also, it looks better if you have thick elements. It's like adding more bass to the model, and it looks cool. If I made everything very small, there's like the elements are then smaller, and it's kind of harder to see what's going on there. So that's why big elements are always cool. Not always. There are places where you should go in micro details, but I think most of the time it's very cool to have big elements. Alright. It's kind of okay. I think I don't need to model much anymore, but I can do something that is going to be transported with this vehicle. So I think I'm going to add wait, is that a correct word? I need to use translator, Google Translate. So now I will teach you Finnish. Straw, okay. I'm going to create straws there, not wheat. Okay, so I use a trick there. I'm not going to model all the straws there. Instead I'm modeling a big box there, and then I will create it so it looks like that it's a pile of straws. So let's first create the box here, and let's move it like this, and it's maybe too big, and then this there. Okay, the basic thing is now good, but I need to make some variation there. So let's just do some random edits. And maybe it's a little bit lower here. And here. And let's scale this. I'm going to scale this a little bit in y-axis and this a little bit up. And I need to add smooth shading here. Okay, and I'm going to move that also. Let's extrude maybe this a little bit so the straws are kind of dropping out like that. And I'm going to add also here some sort of I don't know, random details. Like that, and here also the same. By the way, I don't wanna model this in all places, like first here and then the same details there. So I'm going to add mirror modify, and I just need to delete this other part, just like that. Alright, and then delete edges. And now I can add the mirror modify with y-axis and clipping, and now I can do the rest of the modeling. Okay, yeah, here also. Alright, I think it's getting good. Let's see how it looks like with subdivision surface. Okay, it's not very beautiful with that. But it's kind of okay, I think, because I'm going to hide those with the straps and textures. Okay. The next thing is to find a texture for the shrouds, and before that I need to fix something. I'm going to, let's see if this fixes it. The problem is there. Actually, the problem is not with that. Sorry about this. Okay, I guess it's working now. So I'm going to unwrap this, and how I do it, I just select everything and press U and Smart UV project, and it's not going to do anything beautiful, but it's going to work. Let's see. Okay. This is going to do, and I'm not quite sure if I am even using that unwrap, but it's good to have one. Okay, so let's go to Pixabay and let's find something. Strauss. And I'm looking something like this. If this image, by the way, is enough big, I can even use this one. Okay, but it's not my first thing I will use. The problem is, in most cases, is with the shadows. For example, there is so much highlights and shadows that I can't use it. There is this little part in this area which I maybe could use. So if I don't find anything from this page, then I'm going with those. And this is this rotating effect which I don't wanna use. So I have this and this, and I guess I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to download this big version. And I'm going to open it here in Affinity Photo. And let's edit this a little bit. By the way, I did stop using Adobe Photoshop. I'm not using that anymore. So I press S key, and then I can use this clone stamp tool, which is exactly similar than in Photoshop. And I wanna make this brush a little bit bigger. Okay, and of course those I need to remove also. Okay, then we have here one filter which I wanna show you. If I remember, where is it? Distort. Fine. And what is it does, if it's the way you can use the offset, which is also again similar as you have maybe seen me using in Photoshop. So with this I can control, I can kind of move the image from okay, I can't explain that, you understand what I was doing. So now I closed out this area out. So then after that I don't have, actually, sorry, I need to create a size for this, and 0.24. Okay, and now I need to scale this. Okay, I guess this will do. And I need to undo everything. Okay, so this, and then crop and custom and 1024 1. Okay, and then zoom out and scale and move this to the correct spot. And now the image should be in the correct size. And let's press Ctrl plus Alt plus F. Okay. And let's do everything again. Okay, Ctrl plus Alt plus F, and let's see. Okay, this looks very ugly. Dual respect. Also, there is this part which I wanna hide because I believe it was creating some repeating effect. Okay, this will do. Okay, there is one seam. Let's see again. Anything else? Anywhere? There. Okay, now I can save this, and I'm going to save this as a JPEG. Actually, I need to learn something new again. Save as. Okay, it's not going to work. Should I export this then? Okay. I have never saved anything as a JPEG in Affinity Photo, so that's why I'm a little bit lost. Export, and then let's go to the folder. And I'm going to save this. Okay. Browse. Okay. That's it, and then let's go back to Blender and let's select this object here and click new, and let's name it Strauss. Shift plus F3, and then add here image texture, connect it there into the diffuse, and let's open that one we created just a little ago, and it was in the ground folder, and it was this one. And let's see. As you can see, it's too big and there's seams. Let's use here box, and let's use here object, and it's a little bit better. But it don't look very realistic like that. So I wanna create some variation here to this object. So when we have here this subdivision surface, then I'm going to add here also displays. if I find that. Deform displays. And then we need to create a texture, displays texture. So let's click this new button and then let's click this so we kind of move to the place where we can edit these displays textures. And I'm going to use clouds, at least I'm going to test with clouds. And clouds looks very cool. Let's add more depth and then let's go back here and change these settings. The only thing I care about this is that it's not going to overlap too much of these other objects here. And let's see how it looks like now. And I guess it looks very much better now. I'm happy about this. And we need to create another texture also, because we want almost perfect realism. Okay, I need another texture for this project, and I think this would work maybe. So I'm going to download this one, and I use the biggest possible size to have control over this, and let's open it in Affinity Photo. And I wanna little bit change these colors because those are a little bit too orange. If you remember how those looks like in here, they're more like gray than orange. So that's why I go here, develop personal, and here I'm going to reduce a little bit the saturation. Like that, and that's it. Just develop. Not going to touch anything else. And the next thing is to do that same cropping work here. So custom ratio, how do you pronounce that? 1.824 1024. Let's zoom out and find the spot, which is this one. And let's see. And now we wanna remove a little bit things here. So first thing to do, I guess, is to create the selection. So let's select and select sampled colors. Are sampled colors. I guess I'm going to select something like this, and then I'm going to create a mask. And as you can see, the mask is now inverted, so like it's removing things we wanna have in the image. So let's select the mask and Ctrl I to invert the selection. And let's select this mask again and then Ctrl push L. And now we can control a little bit this mask. Okay, actually I'm wrong. How do I edit this mask only? Edit mask. Okay. Okay, it still created that. I'm sorry. I'm just using the Photoshop workflow, so refine mask. What's going on there, please? What? That just happened. Cancel. Okay, let's paint here with on this mask, and to be honest, I am not maybe using the best workflow, but this is a new program. I just started using this like few days ago, so just try to understand if I do weird decisions, but you know, it takes a little bit of time. Let's remove the hardness, and I guess that's going to be okay. But I wanna remove all of those black areas there, but I don't know the way how to do it, so I pause this recording and I will find the way. Alright, how I do it now is to select again here tonal range and select shadows, and then let's create this, and then let's invert this like this, and now I have this selection here and I have those, and let's just brush out something, and I'm going to use hard brush. So I kind of wanna have this kind of selection there, and then with smaller hard brush I can create some variation there, and this is going to take a little bit time. I can't find any better way to do this job, but it's just something you need to do if you wanna have this specific effect. And because this is going to be over the other object, it's not a problem if there is problems here. Very funny joke. But the other texture will hide most of the problems, so I'm not too careful with this one. I just try to have a little bit. I wanna broke the shape a little bit. That was what I wanted to say. Something like this. That. And let's make this a little bit smaller, so I can reduce those very small details from there, which I think I don't need, at least not that much. If you click and then shift click somewhere, you will create a straight line, which is very cool in this specific situation, because those are basically straight lines, those straps. Okay, let's remove something here. I think I'm going to speed up this a little bit, because this is going to take a little bit time, and you already know the way to do it. So this is the thing we needed to have. Okay, oh, I wanna also hide that one. Okay, now it's good. So let's save this as a PNG export, and then find PNG here. This one, and the image size 124 like that, and then export, and then let's find. Okay, this is the folder I wanna save it. So Strabs alpha, and I'm going to copy this address and save. And now let's go to Blender, and we are going to add here images as planes, and let's go to the specific folder. So, sorry people, you're writing so much that I muted you for a while, and I'm going to use this Strauss alpha, and I use alpha of course. Pre-multiplied I think is good, and then just click OK, and let's see how it looks like. Looks kind of good, I guess. And now we need to set up here what do you call that, particle system, and let's click this new here, and let's select here, and we need to apply that mirror modify. With mirror modify it creates that kind of ugly looking thing which we don't wanna have. I'm going to apply also all of those. Okay, so now when we actually something happened. I need to apply everything, so let's apply this and this and this. Okay, and I guess I need to do something here. Okay, this is a problem. Let's remove this and let's add again here. Okay, now it's working again, and we wanna use here object, and let's rename this object to something we can remember. Strabs alpha. Okay, and let's use that specific object, and if we now render this, you see that they are there, but okay, they are kind of okay now, but I wanna make them a little bit bigger. Actually, I wanna change their size randomly. So let's use this advanced, and let's make with this them a little bit bigger. And then next thing to do is to go in physics, and let's use here random for the size. And also other thing to do is to find the rotation tab here, and I'm going to make this to the max, and then make this, and then here for example global set, and then here random. Okay, now they're completely random, and it's looking quite nice, but there has to be a little bit bigger, even more bigger. How it looks like now. Even more random here, or less actually, because I wanna have this whole area filled with those. And the another thing to do is here to select this one and then move this to here. So now the root of this object is in the bottom, and that adds more of those around. And as you can see, the color is still a little bit wrong. So I select this object here. Please don't crash Blender. So I select this object here, and then I need to select here also. Okay, smaller is better. And let's select here. Okay, please. This is getting so laggy. And here I'm going to use only 5 samples, so we don't need to wait for our whole life. that to render, and I'm using only 7 bounces. Okay, now it's rendering again a little bit better, so we are not dying while waiting. And let's put 3 to filter a little bit glossy. And now we can edit a little bit these colors. So let's add here curves, RGB curves, and put it there. And let's find some cool place where we can see the texture here. So if we add here a little bit red, what happens? Nothing good. Maybe. I'm trying to find the same color tone as we have there, but it seems I'm not getting anywhere. Let's go closer. Alright, it's better. Okay, too much green. Let's reduce a little bit blue. Something like that, and then let's add more red. Okay, I guess it works now a lot better. So now it's kind of filled with pile of those things, which is very cool. I love this. And by the way, because we have so much alpha textures here, you see that in there behind there is those black things, and how we fix those, we add here few steps more transparency, and now it's almost gone. Maybe 1 step more or 2. Okay, the mean value should be maybe 1, because there is 1 level, but somewhere you can have kind of even 15, I guess, of those in a line. Alright, looks cool, I guess. And now I wanna edit. Actually, I wanna hide. This is so ridiculous looking here. So I'm going to move it to another layer so I can edit this one. And I'm going to move this also to the same layer. Okay, so let's edit this one again. And I wanna duplicate these rivets. So let's just select it and duplicate it, and then move there. And we wanna have some kind of organic looking here also, because if you add these rivets, you maybe not put it in the center. You maybe can't do that. So that's why I add here, and then I just rotate them in y-axis. Okay, with median point, rotate in y-axis like that, and here, and rotate in y-axis again, not maybe that much, and the last one here, rotate in y-axis, and let's duplicate these here and here and there. Let's rotate a little bit, and here. Okay, so we have the rivets, which is nice. And we need to add some materials here. So let's add here wood material. Let's create new material, and let's call this wood. And let's create new material. Let's call it metal. And I'm going to use the same metal in this one and then in these rivets. So let's first create some random color for the wood. So let's select the wood, and then let's go to settings and viewport color. That's because I wanna see in the view what I'm actually doing here. So, and then metal will be something like dark brown because it's rusted. So let's just start selecting these. By the way, the better way would be to we should have been selected and added the material for the first rivet, and then just duplicate it. But because we did it like that, I need to select them all. And instead of selecting them by hand like that, I'm going to in this wireframe mode with Z key, and then I just select parts of all the other objects like this, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And this is a little bit easier to do like this. And then just press Ctrl plus. Okay, there is still things to do. And there, and there, and again Ctrl plus. And now we have selected everything else but the metal parts. Now we press Ctrl I to select only the metal, and then press Assign. Cool. That was one cool trick that makes things easier, I guess. And should I have also rivets there? Or is there again some cool craftsman did something tricks that we don't understand even? Okay, there is actually, I should select that one and assign wood material. Okay, and now we need to edit the wood, so let's drag and drop this color here, and metal, drag and drop this color here, and let's see. Okay, looks better, but of course we wanna have also some textures at least for this wood. So do I have, I maybe don't have any texture for that, so let's find wood and let's find something. And we don't wanna have this kind of texture because it's going to add some of those lines there in the bars, and we wanna have only the wood material because they are blanks. You don't need to have those black lines in the blanks. It would be like blanks made of blanks. That's stupid. Wood texture. And let's find, that's weird. This is nice, but it's maybe a little bit too small. Actually, I can use also something like this, and I can clone stamp those details out there. So if I can't find, I'm maybe using this one. But let's still try to find. Okay, I'm going to download this one, and I'm going to use the biggest possible texture again, and let's see it in Affinity Photo. Okay, and I'm going to rotate this document. How do I rotate? Resize canvas. Rotate, okay. And now we need to create again the selection. Custom. And actually I don't know. This is not going to be in pixels. Okay. So now we need to use this clone stamps brush, and then let's just clone stamp. This is a little bit harder than in Photoshop to select these, but so if I wanna have this kind of, what? Why did it do? I don't understand this. So if I select like this, what? Okay, what? Why it's so different here? Okay, now it's working. So let's paint these out with some textures and something like this, and then let's select this area and paint it over. Okay, now we have this kind of wood texture, which is very cool. And we wanna also use the affine distort affine filter, and let's use the offset here. And as you can see, we have still things to do. Apply, and then let's make the job done. What? Okay. Wait a minute, I have some serious problem there. So if I need to crop this. Okay, now if I move this. Can I move this? How do I check that log off? Okay. Okay, this is the problem. So how do I delete those other crop and mode? It didn't delete those. I wanna delete them. I need to find the answer from the internet. Okay, I guess I need to rasterize this layer. So there is this one, and let's now try to. Okay, now it's working again. So now we can use the affine filter. Sorry about these random problems that I have, but I need to learn to use this program, and for me doing these tutorials is also learning. So that's why. Okay, what did I click? That's why I sometimes end up to very crazy problems, but it's life. you just need to do what you need to do. Apply. Alright, and then let's again do this. I wanna copy things from there bottom. And this is the first time I'm trying to do anything real with Affinity Photo. So okay, what? Undo. Okay, let's do this again. Alt and why it's doing that? Should I remove Alt key first, or the brush key, or both at the same time? What? Why it's selecting those random areas? This is getting a little bit annoying. Okay, now I understand. So you click with Alt key like this, and then you have that selection. This was very frustrating to understand, but yeah, we are getting it. Life is going on, and good things happen. This is so different from the workflow of Photoshop, so that's why I was having so much troubles with this one. Let's click there, yeah, a bit of those. Okay, so Control plus Alt plus F to repeat the last used filter. I can remember that shortcut because I was using it. Okay, is there something? Okay, that was bad. Alright, now it's cool. Let's save this beast out and let's save it as a PNG export and textures and then wood. Where is it? Where is that folder? Wood. There. And let's call this, I don't know, old wood and exporting. And let's go to Blender and we are going to add here an image texture and let's open that. Textures, wood and old wood, and let's connect this there and then Ctrl plus T and object coordinates and here box and blend. And it already looks very old because of that, and that was the goal. So let's add here glossy and let's mix those together and let's add there Fresnel and let's connect this there, and I'm just guessing something like, I don't know, 1.56 some random numbers. And I think this material is a little bit too dark, but before I change anything in that material, I'm going to change this light source to sun so we can see what we are trying to do. Okay, so in the straight sunlight it looks like that, and I wanna make this color a little bit more gray, so let's add here hue and saturation, and let's connect this there and just remove the saturation a little bit, maybe a little bit more value, so it's also a little bit more visible. I don't wanna go to completely black and white, but I wanna reduce a little bit these colors. I guess that's quite okay like that. And let's move these a little bit and let's add the curves. And with this I can also control a little bit these blanks. And as you can see, there is a little bit repeating, but it's not very visible. So we can fix that if you want to, but I don't know. Instead of... okay, I'm going to fix that. So let's add here mix RGB and let's connect that there. And then let's duplicate this one and connect that there and then this there. So now we are mixing the same material with the same material, same texture with the same texture, but we wanna control that how it's mixed there. So let's add here noise texture and let's connect that there as a factory. Alright, and now we can duplicate these curves here also. And let's make some crazy edits to this one. We need an object coordinates here. Okay, and the scale is maybe a little bit too small. Okay, that's good, I guess. Okay, it's too crazy. let's lower this color so those black spots are not so dark. We can actually also let's duplicate this one so we can go like very crazy with this one. Okay, so let's go here and let's duplicate this one, and let's duplicate let's use this here, and now just change the location randomly. Okay, so those are now, I guess, better. And let's duplicate this hue and saturation. Okay, now we have some random variation there. Cool. And the next thing to do is to make that metal look like a metal. So let's select the metal material and let's go to some area where we have lots of metal. Ctrl B and Shift Z, and then add the glossy BSDF and connect that there, and we have some reflections there. And let's add the Fresnel, of course. We are going to add that everywhere, and we need some value there. So I'm going to something like that, and I guess it's going to be okay. And let's add the noise texture, and let's connect it there, and let's make it quite small and details to max. And then let's duplicate this one, and then let's connect this to the scale. I guess that's the way to go. Let's add also color ramp and change this, and then let's add the color ramp here also. And with this I can actually control very much how it looks like. This looks kind of cool as an effect. So let's use this one. And let's add there another color ramp, and let's make this to brown. So we have rust there, and then let's make this maybe dark gray. Like that, and then we can use this. Yes, we can use this one here to mix it with this Fresnel. So let's add the mix RGB and connect it there, and this there, and then let's see this one how it looks like, and this actually. And I don't want to have this strong effect there, so I need to also add another color ramp here, and I reduce this white color here. And let's make this to screen, I guess, or multiply. Okay, I guess that's okay. Okay, it's not okay. Let's use green instead of multiply. And we also need a bump mapping here, because those are rusted and that creates bumpiness. So let's add the bump and connect it in both of those sockets, this, and then connect this here. And let's invert this one. And that's very cool, I guess, but I don't wanna have that strong effect. This is going to be okay. Maybe a little bit change this color. The brown is maybe too brown, so I go a little bit back to gray. I guess it's better like that. And now we can see this with those straws. And I guess it's quite nice like that. Maybe I add this to some background with Affinity Photo later. Alright, what I want to do now is to edit a little bit this light source, and I make it a little bit almost from the middle day direction. And the second thing I wanna do is I'm going to only do this layer, so I can explain a little bit better. So I wanna select all of the parts that are in the wheel. So these rivets and these rivets also. And what I do with these, I separate them to their own object. So press P and separate by selection. And now I have this new object which I can rotate here, rotate in Y-axis, because I don't wanna have those perfectly in that direction, so they look kind of more natural or realistic when they are a little bit tilted. And let's see again these. Okay, it's better. Okay, and then I wanna make this light source a little bit stronger, so click the use nodes here and then put there something like 5, I guess that's quite okay. And let's see from the camera angle.